Where did Orville and Wilbur Wright come from, and what did they do?
They come from.
Game!
Oh,
They're dead now. How can they come from anywhere? They're dead. They came from. Stop. Minus 25 points in grammar. Ah!
they came from Ohio, USA,
Yeah.
and they first built their own glider. Then in 1902, they started designing an engine for it.
Are you reading to me?
No. No.
Your memory is like perfect to each sentence. I heard the cat. Where's the cat? Is he doing the test with you?
Outside my room.
He wants to come in. He's not going to help you with the test? Give you all the answers? No?
No.
Where's grandma? She going to help you cheat?
No.
Where's mom?
There.
Where's the teacher?
I don't know.
Right here.
No.
Your mom's watching you, so now you're in trouble. Now you got to perform. All right. Well, we finally got that interest test, 10 tests published. Sheesh. Now we're going to do our interest 11. Are you ready?
No, yes.
All right. So we are going to go to our interest 11 speaking test. CEFR A2. Okay. Let's go. All right, here we go. Our part 1 social interaction. We talked about shopping. I can't remember the lesson now. I don't know if it was teenager shopping or was that the one with shopaholics where sometimes they spend too much money? I think we had shopaholics in there. Maybe. You don't know. You don't know and I don't know. We're in trouble. All right. Well, we're going to go to shopping. And our first question today is, do you like shopping? Why or why not?
I like shopping because I can buy the things I need or buy new stuff.
The things you need or new stuff. So do you like spending your mom's money?
Maybe.
Better your mom's money than your money, right?
I don't have money.
So then it's better it's mom's money.
Yes.
What about grandma's money? You like spending grandma's money too?
Maybe.
Maybe. Do you want to spend my money?
No.
No? That's good because I got no money. All right. So you like shopping for fun things and things you need. Do you get to pick your clothes or does your mom pick your clothes for you? Or 50-50? Don't look at her.
Some.
Maybe some?
Maybe some.
Somewhat?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay.
Sometimes.
Does she buy you nice clothes or are you like, yeah, I want to buy my own? Because I know when my mom and my grandma used to buy me clothes, I'd be like, yeah, I don't like that. I don't want it. I always wanted to pick my own clothes.
Nice clothes.
Do you like picking your own clothes or do you like the clothes your mom buys you? Don't look at mom.
I like picking my own clothes.
Me too. All right, let's go to question 2. Do you think expensive things are better than cheap things? Like if you see a shirt that's 200 rupiah, 200,000 rupiah, and one that's 100,000 rupiah, do you think the 200,000 one is better quality or better?
Yes, because expensive things look better.
Expensive things look better. Usually, if we don't get scammed, usually if it's more expensive, it means the quality could be better. and maybe it'll last longer. I know that for shoes for sure. I have some shoes that I spent a few $100s on and shoes that I spent $50 on. And the shoes that I spent a few $100s on, I still have them 10, 20 years later. The shoes I only pay $50 for, 6 months, a year later, they fall apart. So the quality is not as good. What's the most expensive clothes you ever bought? Sandals?
Huh?
Sandals? Shirt,
Uh,
jacket, pants, dress?
Jacket.
A jacket. Do you still have it?
Yes.
Do you still love it?
Maybe.
Only maybe? Who bought it? You or your mom?
My grandma.
Oh, your grandma bought it. Okay, but did she pick it or did you pick it?
She picked it.
Oh, she picked it. That's why you said maybe. Uh-huh. What about your cat cigars? Are they expensive?
Yes. No.
No, they're cheap cigars. So the cat doesn't know if they're good cigars or bad cigars.
Yes.
All right. A good cigar is different. It's a good, tastes really good, but not good for you. That's true. Is the cat still smoking cigars?
Maybe.
Maybe. What's with all the maybes? You can't say maybe, maybe. You live with the cat. You know if the cat's smoking cigars or not. Yes or no? Is the cat still smoking cigars?
No.
No. You're guessing now. All right, number 3, just to get us warmed up with questions here. What are the advantages and disadvantages of shopping online? What's the advantage and what's the disadvantage?
The advantages is time saving.
Time saving. That's true. You don't have to go to the shop. What else is an advantage? Anything else?
Discounts.
You can shop around and many sites to find discounts. So maybe you get a better deal. Okay. Any other advantages?
No.
No. So what's the disadvantage of shopping online?
Late deliveries.
Oh, yeah. You can't just buy it and go home. You have to wait for it. Okay. So it could be a late delivery. Maybe takes a week or two. Sure. Anything else?
No.
No? Can't think of one thing? There's one thing that makes me not want to buy clothes online. Do you know what it is?
No.
What could be another problem if you buy a dress or a shirt or a pair of shoes or pants or anything? What could be a big disadvantage of buying it online?
Maybe it's a scam.
Oh, well, okay. I mean, you have to buy from credible online stores like Alibaba and all these other Amazons because they have a really good return policy. But what could go wrong if you order a shirt or a jacket and then you order it, it comes? What could be a problem?
The quality is not good.
Well, it could be that, but we talked about quality already. No, I was thinking about size. Maybe it's too small.
Maybe it wouldn't fit.
Exactly, right? That's usually the biggest problem with online shopping for clothes is that you buy it and then it's the wrong size. It doesn't fit or it's too big. And then you got to send it back and you got to wait and buy another one or exchange it. So that's my disadvantage for shopping online is with clothes. Yeah, that's for sure. Don't know what size you're going to get. All right. No, that was a good warm up with shopping. Now we're going to go to topic 2 and we're going to talk about jobs. Just a few little general questions. Are you ready?
Yes. No. Yes.
No, no, yes, yes, no, yes. You and Hannah, it's always no, yes, yes, no, no. Yeesh. Let's go to topic 2. Okay, so topic 2, again, we're going to talk about jobs. We had that really cool lesson. What was his name? Do you remember? Sedwick, the guy who went to 50 different states in the US. And in 50 weeks, so 1 week, he went to a different province, or they call them states in America. Canada, Vietnam, Indonesia, they call them provinces. But imagine going to each province for 1 week to do a different job. Would that be a cool experience for you, or would that be like, too much stress? I don't want it.
Cool experience.
I think so, because even if you don't like the job, it's only 1 week, and at least you know what it's like. And you might get really lucky and find something. It's like, wow, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And then that would be really cool, right? You know what to study. So let's imagine, let's live in a fairy tale land. What type of job would you like to do in the future? Not only what job, but you could also like say what field. Like maybe you want to be a professional gamer and you want to be in the gaming industry and you want to open up many shops and sell video games and play video games all day long, like Dudley. What do you think would be? We did talk about a chef before, but I want to. Is there an other job that you would like to do if you could do it? Anything else?
Artist.
Artist. Okay, so what kind of artist would you like to be? Designing clothes, anime, cartoon, manga, paintings of nature. What kind of paintings and art would you, or art, maybe sculpture and stuff like that? What kind of arts would you like to be in?
Maybe a designer.
A designer. So you're going to design spaceships?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to go to Mars with Elon Musk? What would you like to draw? You say, sorry, you said what? You didn't say fashion, you said designer. So designing what though? Buildings, clothes? What do you like drawing the most? You're talking about drawing, right?
Clothes.
Clothes? Can you design some cool dresses?
Yeah.
Yeah? Can you design me a suit with a bow tie?
Maybe. Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
yes. All right, so I'm going to wait for the design. You have to draw a suit for Mr. Trevor, and then you have to send it to me because I want to see. I'll get the tailor to make it. And you got to tell me the colors too.
Black. Gray.
Black, gray, up to you. You pick the colors. I want a nice bow tie with suit, jacket, everything. And you design it for me, and then you send it to me. Okay?
Okay.
Promise?
Maybe.
These maybes are gonna make me crazy. This is why I'm losing all my hair, because these maybes. No more maybes. Ah! Unbelievable. Sheesh. I'm gonna tell Hannah you're gonna design me a suit. Question 2. Cha. Of all the jobs we've talked about in our lesson, we talked about a lot. There was lobster fishing, working in a kitchen, modeling, photography, many things, farming. What types of jobs do you think are difficult or hard to do? Now, I had not an argument, but a miscommunication with Gabby in the Philippines because her and her dad were like, she was saying a medical assistant or something, and she was saying that's really difficult and really hard. But I was talking about the job when you do it, and I think sitting in a laboratory and doing tests, I don't think that's very hard. But what she was talking was about the studying that you have to do at school before you become a medical technician. So that was a little different. So I'm talking about actually going to the job and doing the job. What do you think would be difficult or hard to do?
Janitor.
Dancer?
Janitor.
Dentist? Dentist.
Janitor.
Oh, janitor. Okay. Walking around with a mop. Cleaning toilets, cleaning hallways. Yeesh. Dealing with garbage all the time.
Right.
Would it be difficult and hard, or would it just be dirty and stinky?
Yes, think.
That's what I think. I don't think it's hard to do, but I think it would be. I think that's the problem with janitor jobs is usually they pay good. Usually they're like, especially if you get into a school or a hospital or a government building, then you might get your pensions and all that stuff. But I think that's where a lot of people probably have a difficult time with it, is because they don't want to clean all the time. Because a lot of people don't like cleaning every day. They don't even want to clean their own house. Do you like cleaning the house?
Maybe.
Maybe you like it. Maybe. What do you mean? Maybe. No more maybe. Maybe is not an English word. It doesn't exist anymore. Every time you say maybe, minus 10 points. Do you like cleaning the house?
Yes.
Yes. Every day or sometimes?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Me too. I like keeping the house clean, but I only do one day where I'll clean, and then every other day it's just a little bit. So 6 days a week it's messy. 1 day a week it's clean. Do you still want to be a chef?
Mm,
Or were you lying to me the whole time? Did you change your mind? Do you want to be an
yes.
artist or a chef? Or both?
Can be both.
Maybe both. Being an artist and being a good cook or a chef is good too. You can do both. Why not? I like cooking. I can cook some things really good. I'm not going to go get a job as a chef, but I'd like to have another restaurant someday. Yeah. All right. So other difficult jobs could be like construction, right? They have to work really hard. A lot of the trade works, mechanics and electricians, sometimes they have a lot of to do. I think being the president of a country would be a difficult job. Be pretty stressful, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a tough one. So if those are some of the difficult jobs, my farmer would be difficult too. 5 o'clock in the morning, working outside all day. I would like some of it, but it would be hard sometimes. So number 3 was, what do you think is the best job in the world? Now, it doesn't have to be
Dentist.
your a what? Scientist?
Dentist.
A dentist? Fixing people's teeth? That's one of the greatest jobs in the world.
Yes.
So why don't you become a dentist? Maybe.
No.
So if you think dentist is one of the best jobs in the world, and they do make good money, that's a good career. But you talked about being a chef, you talked about being an artist, but you say that dentist is one of the best. Why do you say dentist is one of the best jobs? For what reason?
They can help you if you have a toothache.
They can fix toothaches.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a toothache?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm lucky. I've never had too many problems with my teeth. They've always been healthy, and I had a couple of cavities, but not too many toothaches. I've been very lucky. Knock on wood. All right. So a dentist. I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have thought a famous actor or something like that. That would be one of the awesome jobs. Make lots of money and have lots of fans. What else can you think of? Because I never would have said dentist, but I guess it's rewarding. Give everybody a happy smile. What else?
Mm,
You could open up a cigar shop, and then your cat could buy all the cigars from you. No.
No.
Okay. What other jobs do you think would be really cool? What about being an astronaut? You could go with Alien to Mars. actually
To the
design the
moon.
spaceship. Huh?
To the moon.
And go to the moon? I think they should go to the moon first and build a base there before they try to go build a colony on Mars. I don't understand the logic in that. But I'm not a scientist and I'm not an astronaut and I don't own a space company. So what do I know? I don't know anything. I know a little bit about English, a little bit about cooking, a little bit about putting a Christmas tree together. I know about Frosty the Snowman. What else would be a
It's
cool
not
job?
Christmas.
A what?
It's not Christmas.
It's Christmas every day. And we already talked about this. Every day is Christmas. Jingle bell,
No,
jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to play with Trevor today.
no.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So, what else would be a really cool job? One of the best jobs in the world. Your mom's job, selling houses.
Marketing? I don't know.
You don't know? You can't think of some really cool jobs? Want to be a gamer?
No.
Or any job that pays you $1 million?
I don't know what job pays $1 million.
I said any job that pays you $1 million. Would you be a janitor for $1 million a year?
No.
No, I would for 2 or 3 years to give me $2 or $3 million, and then I'd retire. I would do it. Sure. All right, fine. Let's go to our reading comprehension part 2. Are you ready?
No, yes.
No, yes. That's better than maybe. Okay. No, again, your reading has improved so much because you do the 2 classes. So, I mean, it really helps you. Now, they were talking about, of course, we are talking about Orville and Wilbur Wright. Those are the 2 bicycle mechanics that invented the first plane. But I mean, their studies came from other people before them, right? Lilienthal and Calais and the gliders. All of these people had already started the research, so they continued it. But they managed to actually create the airplane, and they actually designed a motor. I don't think they could build a motor in the 1800s or 1700s. It wasn't until the early 1900s or maybe late 1800s when they started playing with motor designs, because it wasn't long after that where Henry Ford invented the first car. But again, he wasn't the first person to invent the car. He was the first one to have a car and a motor, and it worked and everything was good and it became sold around the world. But there were other people before that who had worked on car designs. They weren't successful, which is often the case. The first people sometimes are not successful. But anyhow, the first plane they flew for 38 kilometers was called the Flyer. That was the name of the plane. And George, right? You have 2 G's, but both of them are G. George is how we say that. And do you remember what a glider is? What is a glider? What's the difference between a glider and a plane?
A glider is when you hang this and you fly.
You hang this and you fly? What do you put a parrot on there? We don't want a cracker. Hang what? No, but there's one main difference between a glider and a plane. They both have wings. They both look like airplanes. They look the same. But there's one big difference. Do you remember the difference? The glider doesn't have a motor, no engine.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The glider just follows the wind. Yeah. That's why we have the human gliders where they hold on to the triangle and they run down a hill and then they take off. It looks like a big kite. Well, that's what it is. It is a big kite. It's a big kite and they glide and then they land it. Kind of dangerous sometimes because they can go really high. And if they don't know what they're doing, it could be dangerous. But anyway, and the other little thing about the reading, I noticed you said 2,500. We only use and with hundreds. So 250, 333, 902, right? Only with hundreds do we use and. All the other numbers, we don't. It's just 2,500, 13,650, right? See the difference? 13,650. It's only in the hundreds that we use and. So I hope you'll remember that. So anyway, let's do some questions on Orville. Well, not just them. This is not really about Orville and Wilbur Wright, but it's about the history of flying. And it all started with a man named who? Who's the first person who started drawing designs back in the 1400s? Who was that? Most famous.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci, yeah. He was the first one who started designing flying machines, and everybody thought he was crazy. But do you remember the name of the crazy one he designed? One of the first ones that we can't use? Ornithopter. Yeah, the one where it had mechanical wings. That didn't work. But eventually it turned into a helicopter because that does work. But that's because we got smarter with physics. So I guess that was okay. I kind of messed that up. I'm asking too many questions before I asked the questions because I was going to say, what kind of flying machine did Leonardo da Vinci design? And that was the ornithopter. So one correct. Number two. Which animals traveled on the first balloon flight?
A sheep, chicken, and a duck.
And do you think it was Donald Duck?
No.
Wasn't Donald Duck? What about Chicken Little? Was he there?
No.
No, that was too long ago. That was in the 1700s too. Would you like to go on a hot air balloon?
I'm afraid of heights.
You're afraid of heights? Oh boy, you better not go in a hot air balloon then. That would be scary. I wouldn't go in a hot air balloon in the 1700s or 1800s. No, thank you. But in the 2000s, today, I would do it for sure. You don't see too many hot air balloons crashing anymore. All right. What's our next one here? Okay, so we talked about a guy named George Calais. Calais or Calais, I'm not sure. What did George Calais design? What was he known for designing?
He designed many gliders.
Yeah, this is the end of the 1700s and the early part of the 1800s. He was from England. He was an Englishman, and he's credited with designing the gliders. So those were the first planes to go in the air without an engine. Yeah, that's right. I've never been in a glider. I think I'd rather take one with an engine.
I don't want to ride a glider.
No motor. Imagine being in a plane and there's no engines. Yeah, it can be dangerous. So then we talked about a man named Otto Lilienthal. How did Otto Lilienthal die? Because he did die. Well, they're all dead. But he died not by natural causes. How did he die?
He died when he was flying one of his gliders.
Yeah, he was being the test pilot, and he was testing out gliders, and he ended up crashing and dying. That's right. Because now this is like 100 years later, right? Because Calais he invented the glider first in the early 1800s. It says 1799 to 1850. But Lilienthal, He was in the 1890s. So he was like 40 years later after Calais, and they were still working on gliders, and he improved them a lot. But after 2,500, not 2,500 flights, he died in an accident when he was flying one of his gliders. Dangerous business. Then in the early 1900s came along a guy named Wilbur and Orville. Where did Orville and Wilbur Wright come from, and what did they do?
They come from
Game!
oh,
They're dead now. How can they come from anywhere? They're dead. They came from. Minus 25 points in grammar.
they came from Ohio, USA,
Yeah.
and they first built their own glider. Then in 1902, they started designing an engine for it.
Are you reading to me?
No,
Because your memory is like perfect to each sentence. I need you to say it in your words. But that's right. They started studying the work of Calais and Lilienthal, and they decided to try to create the airplane because it wasn't really created yet. And they did. And they created an engine, and they managed to do it. That's right. What were their jobs before they became plane inventors? Do you remember?
huh?
I told you, it wasn't in our reading, but I told you what their jobs were. What was their regular job before they invented the airplane? Perfected, I should say. But they do get credit for inventing the airplane. But before they managed to finish that project and make it happen, what were their jobs? What did they do? Were they farmers? Policemen? Chefs? They were going to work on the Titanic? Do you remember? I told you. In class and before the test.
I don't remember.
Ever listen to me? Unbelievable. They were bicycle mechanics. Because back then, I think it was this class. Remember we were talking about when the car got invented and how before the car was invented, of course, the streets were filled with horses and carriages, right? People
Yeah.
didn't have a car. They had a carriage and a horse, right? And then there was
And
poo-poo everywhere. Everything was stinky and everything was loud because the horses everywhere. Was that your class?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was the early 1900s too. This is all close. This is all like around the invention of the engine, which changed the world. It stopped the carriage and horse. It was right around there too that they invented electricity. So it stopped all the whale oil lamps. So now we had electricity, and that stopped almost all the whaling and hunting. A lot of things changed. That was the time of Tesla, and Edison. It was a very big time in our history. And that's only a little over 100 years ago. But my point is, when they invented the plane. So what was I going to say about the engine? Well, it would have been, I can't remember what I wanted to say now. Sometimes I have to make notes. But, yeah, because they wouldn't have been able to build the engine before because they didn't have the technology yet. Right. So they were successful too because of the timing, because in the early 1900s, that's when we started having motors and engines and mechanical stuff. So they probably couldn't do it in the early 1800s. I don't think the industrial age had even started yet. There was something else I wanted to say. Maybe I'll ask the question and answer myself in the edit. Make myself look intelligent. Last question. They were flying. They were the first person. Wilbur went 38 kilometers. Why did Wilbur stop flying the plane after only 38 kilometers?
Because
He crashed?
he had no more fuel.
Yeah, they ran out of fuel. That was the only reason. Otherwise, they could have kept flying longer. So at that point, they realized, ta-da! The airplane is now invented. So now they just have to perfect it. And look at the airplanes today. Holy macaroni. Do you think there's a plane that can fly all the way around the world without stopping?
No.
I don't know. But we can fly halfway around the world for sure, because they have flights from Hong Kong that can go all the way to Toronto without stopping. I bet you some of the military ships, planes, not ships, planes, they might have one. I think some of their bombers could probably go around the world, because I think they can go like halfway around and then turn around and come back without refueling, but I'm not sure. Or they fuel in midair. Did you ever see that, where you have two planes flying and then this plane drops a cable and this plane comes in and it connects to the plane and they refuel in air? Did you ever see that?
No.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. But anyway, that's it. We're done. Next week, we're going to go to interest
12. 12.
12. That's right. And then we're going to do our lesson 1. And we're going to start anew. I don't know if it's B1 yet, but I think it's upper A2 and B1 combined. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. But yes, next week on Mondays now, not Tuesdays anymore. The Tuesday today was only because of the holidays, okay? So next week, it's back to normal. Monday night, 7:15. Okay?
Okay.
All right. If you said no, I was going to delete you. All right. Bye-bye, Glory. I got to go test Hannah now. And I will see you on Monday and Tuesday next week. Good night.
Good night.
Merry Christmas.